It started.
All right, today is the first day of the fourth quarter. So excited, aren't we all? And we're going to start chapter 13, which is an introduction to trig values. Now, we've done some of the trig already. You remember that kind of stuff, right? But we're going to look right now at graphs of trig expressions that are very periodic. So we've got some terms that we're going to have to define. So if you look at it, we're going to talk about a periodic function. That's a pattern that repeats. And if you look here, this is the sine curve, and it repeats, and it repeats. And if you would get your calculator as big as we would make the window, it would repeat. And we would have a certain repeat and a certain height. So we're going to talk about one cycle, which is one complete pattern. So if you look here in my picture here, it goes like this, and then it repeats again. This is called a cycle. Notice it has a length. So from here to here, it would be 6 units. Then we're going to talk about calling it the period, which is the horizontal length of the cycle. All right, so we're going to deal with periodic functions. We're going to look, and you're going to be given a graph where you have to find what the cycle is, and then you have to find the period, which is the length of that periodic or that cycle. Now, for right now, we are not doing notes. We'll come back. Okay? Now, you will also be asked to find amplitude. Amplitude is 1/2 the max value minus the minimum value. So if you look at this one, here is my maximum value right here. And it has a unit of 5. This is my minimum. It has a -7. So I take 1/2 5 minus a -7, which is 1/2 of 12. So the amplitude of this is 6. Basically, they want to think of that height. Now this formula allows us to find it. In other words, we would have some horizontal line here, and that height, so this piece would be mirrored down here. Is this one periodic? No. Because if it's going to be periodic, it's got to cross the axis at the same place. We can't go uphill like that. All right. So, in today's lesson, they're going to give you a figure like this. You're going to have to copy it, and you can just copy it on your paper. You want to use a highlighter or something of a different color, and mark where one cycle occurs. Then they're going to ask you for the period of it, which is the length from start to finish. Then they're going to ask you to find the amplitude, and lastly, they're going to ask you to tell if something is periodic or not. All right, questions?
So when we do our homework, I mean, it's fine, like the length thing.
Mm-hmm. You
Just
can
do
just
it on
read
line
it.
paper?
You can just do it on scratch paper, line paper. All you have to do is read the x-axis on your homework. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the examples. For you people at home viewing this, you should read through the examples. And again, I am not expecting graph paper for this homework assignment. Tomorrow in class, you'll have an IXL that I will send late this afternoon out. That needs to be completed by the end of the day, which is at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Friday in class, we'll do lesson 2 of chapter 13. So, is everybody good? Mm-hmm. I'm going to send this video out to everybody, even you guys. Questions? Turn it off.